Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. If you are new here, my name is Natasha and it's fantastic to have you here. For today's video, we're doing a little bit of crafting, a little bit of witchcrafting, but you don't have to consider yourself a witch in order to get the benefits out of this particular fun project. So today we are making a cleansing spray for your room, for yourself, for whatever you want. Just don't put it on electronics because it is water-based. So it evaporates quickly. You can cleanse the room, you can cleanse your car, whatever it is, because it's all natural. So if you get it on your skin, it's not going to affect you in any way unless you are allergic to any of the items here. So use with precaution. However, if you are someone who cannot use fire, if you cannot use smoke in your environment or where you're at, this is a great alternative because it uses the same properties with all of the herbs that we have here as incense or bundles or whatever you would use to cleanse your space in. So with that being said, we just need a few items. And if you have a spray bottle that you want to reuse, that is perfect too. Or you can order a pack of the spray bottles yourself off of, whatever site you prefer. And also, if you hear crunch munching, it's my dog. Whenever I'm in the kitchen, that's when he wants to eat. So I do apologize, I can't stop it. So first of all, you need a bowl that is heat resistant. So something that can take boiling water easily and it won't damage. And a pretty decent sized one too, because we're going to be putting a lot of ingredients into the bowl along with boiling water. So that's your second ingredient, a boiling tea kettle full of water. But hot water, if you don't have a tea kettle, should be okay. The whole point is to steep the herbs. So moving along to the herbs. You can use any kind that you want. However, today we're going to use some rosemary and some common sage. So this is common cooking sage, does the same stuff, has the same properties. And these are from my garden, but you can go to the grocery store and get fresh herbs, fresh rosemary, thyme, sage, etc. to use in this as well. You can use lemon balm, you can use marjoram, whatever sounds good to you. If you want to research the properties, fantastic. Then we have some cinnamon here, which you can't really tell, it's a reused jar. Cinnamon, some whole cloves, and I'm using some black salt because this is just added protection and cleansing. However, regular table salt is fine, or Himalayan salt or sea salt. Salt is salt. When it comes down to the basic bare necessities, this is something that you can use with anything that you already have in your spice cabinet, which is fantastic. You could use the dried sage rub, or you can use the dried rosemary. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to strain. You might have flecks in your spray bottle, so just keep that in mind. But again, do and use whatever feels good to you. You can also throw in some essential oil. So if you have, therapeutic grade essential oil, this is lemon and rosemary and sage, and just these three, that would be phenomenal. I would advise against using like actual lemons just because of the freshness factor. I don't want anything going bad because that can get a little dicey. So I haven't experienced the actual legitimate lemon slices in there. I haven't tried that yet, but to each their own, you do you. Let me know if it works. So with that being said, all we're gonna do is make sure that if we got any fresh herbs, we wash them and we make sure that they're clean before we do anything to it, whether you are using it as a what is it called? A steeping pot. Whatever you use it for, just make sure that your herbs are clean. If you're going to wrap them as a bundle to use for smoke cleansing, make sure that they're clean and dry before you wrap them, so that way you don't get mold. However, they don't need to be dried for this because they're just going to get doused with water again. So I just typically go with how much I feel. I will just grab a bunch of, there's no exact science to this. There's no exact weight. There's no exact measurements. It's just however much my garden yielded me, or how much looks good, and so on and so forth. So we're just going to put it all in. And like I said, if you want to do the lemon essential oil, that would be great with this too. However, I'm using some cinnamon and cloves. I think that might clash with the scent a little bit, so I'm not going to add that in this time. Oh, simmer pot, that's what I meant to say. So if you're using a simmer pot, fresh lemon is amazing. I'll do a video on that. If not, you can check out my TikTok, because I do have a tutorial on that on TikTok. So, and again, all my links are down in the description box below on my link tree. So it's just kind of however much I feel I want to put in there. And again, we're doing this for cleansing and protection, so I like to use black salt. And I'm not drinking this, eating this, any of that. I'm not ingesting it, so we're not going to worry about how it tastes, because that's not what this video is for. So next, we're going to add in the boiling water. My handy dandy teapot. And again, it's just to like kind of fill up over your ingredients. Hopefully you can see that. And then we just kind of give it a few stirs to make sure that the water is getting into it, as well as you can add in your own little incantation or spell. If you want things brought to you, do it towards the clockwise position. If you want things to go away from you, to leave, so we're banishing, it would be the left turn, or counterclockwise. Okay, so and then you just let this steep and then cool down as well, because we do not want to add it very, very hot into the plastic bottles. It will not go well. So just let it steep until you feel like it's done and cooled down, and then we will strain it and pour it into the little spritzer, and you're good to go. You can even create your own little cute labels for it, and you know, or write on it with a marker, however you want to do it. It's your spray. So again, add whatever ingredients you want. So real fast, while we're letting it steep, I will let you know why I used these particular herbs. So rosemary is a fantastic herb for anything and everything. So it is a very utilized herb, because you can pretty much use it for anything you want. For this, I'm using it for cleansing, for protection. You can use it for love, money, healing. With the cinnamon, again, with the purification, cleansing, healing, love, passion, success, money. Cinnamon is also from the element of fire, and same with cloves, so it will bring things a little bit quicker, added quickness to your spray as well. So same with the cloves, it's protection, friendship, cleansing, wealth, money. The common sage is great for protection, for clarity, for banishing, for healing, for prosperity. And then the lemon, which we didn't add, but I put it in here for an option for you. It's great for cleansing again, for clarity, but for youthful exuberance, for beauty, as well as it's a great mood booster. It like lightens your mood. It makes you a little bit more happier when you smell it. So again, things to think about, and always do your research. And like I said, use with precautions. So if you are allergic to cinnamon or the capsaicin, I think that might be in some things. I'm not sure, but I know some people can have an allergic reaction to cinnamon specifically. Just do your research and know that, you know, there's a possibility that if you are allergic to that herb topically, that it might not be a great addition to your spray, just because it does evaporate in the air. However, if it gets on your skin, you just want to be uber cautious. So I will cut the video until this cools down and we can fill up our spray and see what we think. Okay, so it's not completely cool, but for all intents and purposes, we're gonna just go ahead and do it. So I have a strainer here and a more of like a pitcher measuring cup bowl thing. If you don't have it, that's fine. You can muddle around it and, you know, fill it up however you want. I'm just showing you how I do it. So again, however you choose to do it, it's your practice, it's your craft. But this is how I do. And I just pour it into the bowl, and usually I make a mess. Oh, I didn't make too big of a mess this time. Hey. All right. So you can then compost this if you do a composter, or you can bury it however you want to get rid of your herbs is fine. Again, your practice. And then the spray bottles that I purchased came with a little funnel. So that makes my life somewhat easier. And so we're just going to stick that funnel in there and pour in. And again, I make messes all the time. I am not particularly gifted with being graceful. So yeah, this is just gonna be chaos for a minute. But yeah, we just sit there and fill it up. And again, there it goes. You can use however big of a spray bottle you want. There is no real right or wrong method, or again, it's your practice. This is again just what I do, so everything is up to you. And it will turn a little bit darker once it sits for a minute. And as always, keep it out of the sun so that way it doesn't like grow anything on the off chance that it would. I don't know, but yeah, it'll get a little bit darker once it sits for a minute, and you know, has time to kind of chill out, I guess. But again, the liquid will always change a color depending on what you put in your spray. So keep that in mind as well. So we can go ahead and test it if you would like. Ooh, it smells so good. I am a cinnamon person, so anything cinnamon, cloves, I love it. There's a lot of people that don't particularly like cinnamon or cloves, which to each their own, but I want to say, what is wrong with you? Pumpkin spice. But anyway, that is basically it. You can slap on a label if you want. But yeah, one and done. It is a literal easy project. You can do it with your kids. And again, you don't have to consider yourself a witch in order to get the benefits of the properties here. It smells great. It cleanses ick out of your air. It kind of purifies it in a little bit more of a different way than smoke cleansing would. And it's a great scent. So again, depending on what you want to add into your spray, it's up to you. And you can combine your own different little scents. And yeah, let me know if you try this out, if it's something that you are into, if it's something that you would benefit from, let me know. It's just, this is what I've done and what I've been doing, and it works for me. And I typically go around and spray in the doorways, in the windowsills. I spray on the couch. So again, if you have critters, depending on if they're allergic to anything, just keep that in mind too, little dogs or cats. But yeah, I think that's all of the disclaimers. But yeah, let me know if you try this. If you want more videos like this, I'm certainly up for that as well. And let me know what you think down in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.